Hi, I'm Ernest Ward, and this is Strathmore Artist Papers Back to Basics. Today we're going to be working once again with graphite pencils. We'll do this during the initial stage of our drawing, working and blocking in. We'll be using eraser for any corrections and everything. And then after we've completed our initial line drawing, we're going to be switching over to pen and ink. For today's lesson, I'm using the Strathmore Skills Series watercolor paper. This is a 140-pound paper, about twice the weight or thickness of the mixed media that we were using in lesson 2. It comes with two surfaces. The front surface is a cold press. It has a very slight texture to it, but if you want even finer detail and a smoother surface, you can reverse the paper, and it has a hot press, very, very smooth surface to work on. As in lesson 1 and 2, I start off by doing a very light preliminary drawing to block in, measuring the overall width at its widest point and checking that against the overall width and height. Since we're once again using sight measurement, any measurement that we make of our subject will match up with the measurements of our drawing. In our drawing today, we have two sets of receding lines. One on this side of the building, the other on this side of the building. Those lines that are moving away from us in space and that are below my eye level move up as they recede toward the vanishing point. So these lines down here are going to be moving upward, whereas these lines that are above my eye level will all be moving downward toward the vanishing point. Here we're measuring vertical lines. Measuring the length of the line. This is where sight sizing comes into its own, because all of the measurements that we measure on the object are the actual size in our drawing. Cut. Our second group of lines are the diagonals to the right, all converging on our vanishing point on the right hand side. They go from the rooftop all the way down to the sidewalk. Our third group of lines are the diagonals moving to our left vanishing point. These go from the roof, the windows, balcony, all the way down. None of this over in here is going over there. Instead, we're skipping over to the wall area here. Here we measure both the angle and the length of this size, and the angle and length of this size, adjust as necessary. The angle over here, and we've noticed the length and angle of this area over here. The other thing that I want to point out to you is that because of the Japanese architecture, the roof's angles aren't actually, or the roof edges aren't straight. There's a curve here and there's a curve here. We can start off with an initial straight line from the corner to the corner and from the corner to the corner, and then by holding our pencil up and noticing how much droop there is beneath the pencil, we can then draw in the curve here and we can draw in the curve there. One of the things I want you to notice about these lines that are moving off to the vanishing point is that as they move above our eye level, they're going to get steeper. They're all going to the same point. So they're in effect a series of lines that radiate or fan off of that vanishing point. Working from the top, we gradually move toward the bottom. And we want to note that as our objects move farther back, they should be getting shorter, and the intervals should also be getting narrower. We also want to note that the top edge of the two hedges and the bottom edge of the two hedges also describe an implied line converging on the right-hand vanishing point. And then finally, on the right-hand side set of lines, the top and bottom edge of the sidewalk also are converging on that same vanishing point. They too are parallel to all of the horizontal lines that are moving off to our right. At the underdrawing stage, take your time. Don't be in a rush to get this. This isn't our final drawing, but this is the point where most of the big discoveries are made. If you find an error, correct it first and then erase it. This will help you to avoid erasing something and then retracing it, redrawing it the exact same way that you did before. Most of the details that are going to end up in your finished drawing will be found at this stage. Once you've got all of the basic proportions, angles, positions, your scale is good, and you've made any corrections, general corrections that you feel necessary prior to going on to the final contour shape drawing, you have a decision to make. You can either continue working in pencil and fine-tuning the drawing in pencil before switching over to pen and ink, which is the medium that we're going to be working on today, or you can go directly to pen and ink and do the finished drawing, the shape drawing, directly in pen. Going directly to pen will be faster. It'll save you having to work this up in pencil and then reworking it in the pen, and therefore can be more expressive. However, because of the inability to make corrections to an ink drawing once it's completed or once it's been put down, it can, for some people, be more stressful. So choose the option that you think will be working best for you. I continued working in graphite after the initial blocking in because that allowed me more time to observe the details of the subject and to make corrections to the drawing. I've decided, however, to stop working in the graphite at this point, even though I haven't fully developed the drawing over in this area. I've put no detail in here because I'm still working on the strategy of how I want to approach this. The gatehouse itself and the front portion of the fence are the primary subject, so I want that to be emphasized. And I think I'm going to reduce the detail to get the atmospheric effect of having this wall area and the trees back in here recede back into space.